there VC, it's Steve Whitty here with another video. This video is going to be showing some of the things that I've been listening to over the past few weeks. Hope everybody's well. Looking outside, it's a little bit grey, that's why I've got to put the light on. It's Sunday morning. I've tried a previous attempt at recording. I couldn't really see what record I was showing. So how the hell, how on earth are you going to be able to see? I don't know. So I thought throw a little bit of light on the subject. Anyhow, as I said, this video is going to be showing a little bit of what I've been playing recently. So first up, it's Journey and their third album, Next. This was the last album of theirs that didn't feature. It was the pre-Steve Perry era. Very much sort of like a jazz rock. It moved away. It was a step up from Looking to the Future, which is another favourite album of mine. There's the band on the back. It only just scraped the top 100 in the charts, in the US charts. Songs on here: Spaceman, My Favourite Karma. Got the band at the back there. What was surprising when I was reading up about it is that Ainsley Dunbar, the drummer, was actually doing the lyrics as well. So yeah, Greg Roll is the vocals. I think the problem was it's very static when you've got four musicians in the band, especially if the lead singer's behind a stack of keyboards. And it was from there that they decided they needed to change it and incorporate a singer. And after, I think it was Robert Fleischman came and went, Steve Perry joined the band. But I like the album anyhow. I actually, in a way, I do prefer this very early Journey than the stuff that everybody else knows. Another album I've been listening to, it's wrong to call it Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. At this point, it's Cockney Rebel, and this is their first album, their debut album, The Human Menagerie. I think I've said this tale before. EMI in the UK, sort of missing out on Bowie and Led Zeppelin, wanted to sign acts that were similar. Signed two acts that were similar to both Bowie and Zeppelin. Cockney Rebel was your Bowie, Steve Harley very much the vocal. He was an ex-music journalist, so he knew how to play the game, and I think upset a lot of the music press purely because he knew how it all worked. Queen was the act that EMI signed that was they wanted to be like Led Zeppelin, and as Steve Harley will joke, one became very successful. That's not said. Steve Harley, the Cockney Rebel, wasn't unto successful at the time. This album didn't really chart. It didn't just touch the outside the UK charts. It was more popular in Europe. I suppose the best known track on here is Sebastian, which closes side one. Very over the top production, orchestral with choirs on it. It's very much, even though it was Cockney Rebel, it's very much Steve Harley's band. And they went on to produce the second album, Psychomundo. And basically, the band were a bit upset that they weren't getting any sort of writing credits or anything, and sort of confronted Harley. I think three of the band confronted Harley and said, well, unless you give us more writing credits or whatever, we're going to leave. And he basically said, well, okay, I'm disbanding the band. And he reformed the band as Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. Stuart Elliott, the drummer, he stayed with Harley. And that was the inspiration for his best known song, Come Up and See Me, Make Me Smile. But it's a good album. And while I was listening to that, I thought I'd dig out a comp, Steve Harley, Cockney Rebel. As I said, that's what they become. Even though it features Cockney Rebel on the front, on the back, you've got the line that's Steve Harley and Cockney Rebel. As it said, you've got Make Me Smile, Come Up and See Me. Actually, that's how it's it's correctly pronounced. It's the Come Up and See Me is in brackets. Because he got Psycho Monday, there's 2 city singles, Mr. Soft and Judy Teen, that Cockney Rebel had. Sebastian's on here. Here Comes the Sun, which is the cover of the George Harrison song. Riding the Waves of Virginia Woolf, and Tumbling Down, which always closed the song. It always closed it closed the album, but it always closed their live show. And yeah, live they really were excellent. They had a really huge following. This compilation came out on the Fame label. This is a reissue. Another compilation that I picked up recently, has been listening to recently, is Bumpers. This is one of the Island record compilations that they used to do. And it's been called Bumpers because of the shoes. That at the time in the 70s, there was a fat trend for shoes called Bumpers. They were like very heavy-soled sneakers, I believe. On here, you've got tracks by Bloodwind Pig, What the Hoople, If, Spooky Tooth 3, Jethro Tull, Clouds, Renaissance, Cat Stevens, John and Beverly Martin, Quintessence, King Crimson, Nick Drake, Fotheringay, Fairport Convention, Traffic, Bronco, Dave Mason, Jimmy Cliff. This is really partly why I brought this, because there's some acts here that if I were to find on vinyl, I'd be paying quite a lot of money for, and it's on the Pink Island label. Yeah, really pleased to find this. It's a really not bad little comp. In the 70s, as I said, Ireland put out quite a few comps that were sort of like tasters for the acts that were on the label, and they were like low priced. They were low priced issues. That's for want of a better word. So yeah, I'm happy to listen to that. One of the acts that's featured on Ireland is Traffic. This is their final album of the 70s. When the Eagles Flies, they did come back together in the 90s. Well, Jim Capaldi and Steve Winwood did. At this point, I think what happened, the whole thing with Traffic in the 70s, they were huge in the States. Didn't chart in the UK, but really big in the States. I think it just worn Steve Winwood out. Ultimately decided to break up the band afterwards. It's a really good album, actually. It's worth checking out if you haven't. It's a good listen. I only need to get the Traffic and the Dear Mr. Fantasy on vinyl, then I'm done. Mind you, I might have to wish on that because they're quite expensive. Listen to this guy a lot. He's probably my first musical hero, Mark Bolan. T-Rex the Slider. This is I think this is a reissue. I think it might be a reissue. EMI reissue on the sort of like they put it on the T-Rex label. It's probably, if you're going to have one T-Rex album, this is the one to have. You've got Telegram Sam, Buick McCain on here. It's just really... Well, Telegram Sam's my favourite T-Rex song, so I'm so pleased to be listening to this. It brought back a lot of memories. Years ago, I went to the States. It's 2000, and it was July the 4th, and I was in Washington DC, and I was wearing my Slider T-shirt, and thinking, well, nobody's really going to know who it is, and this guy come up to me randomly and said, "Cool band," and I thought, yeah. This is another comp I've been listening to, Rory Gallagher. This is on Polydor Records. This is really just a company. It's like his first couple of solo albums, which were at the time released on Polydor. So it was sort of like a mid-price issue. Again, really good album. I really enjoyed listening to this. Always up for listening to a bit of Rory Gallagher. Something I've been listening to recently, and I heard it at an event I went to and I thought if I could find a copy, I'd buy it. And unfortunately, I did see one in the cheap bin. This is Rosie Vailer's Zoo album. I believe this might be the only album she ever made, but what it was, because it's so linked to Steely Dan, you might see from the hype sticker. It's produced by Gary Katz, the Steely Dan producer, and it does feature Donald Fagen and Walter Becker. I'd say off Steely Dan. Excuse me. Need to wet my whistle a bit. Let's put that down there. And I think she might have been a model, but could sing. I'm not sure. I don't really know much about her, but it's probably got the. She did have a surprise hit single in the UK with Magic Smile. This is probably why we see quite a few of the albums. I think quite a few people brought the album on the back of this. This is really good. You can tell the Steely Dan influence on here. It's, as I say, I think this might have been her only album. She pretty much disappeared as quickly as she bust on the scene. But if you haven't listened to it, you get a chance to have a listen. It's worth checking out, especially if you like Steely Dan. Definitely the influence is there. As you know, I'm always up for a little bit of pop, and I've been listening to ABBA. No, it's not ABBA the album, it's the album called ABBA. And it's all you need for your early stuff. And it's cheesy pop-tastic record. I think Matt Hayes commented when I showed it on Facebook it's their best album. It will make his favourite album. I could see why. You've got here Mamma Mia, Hey Hey Helen, that's a nod to my sister there. Tropical Loveland, SOS, Man in the Middle, Banger Boomerang, I Do, Rock Me, Intermezzo number 1, which is sort of like Benny Anderson's sort of little classical piece. I've Been Waiting for You, and So Long. Just really good pop music. You can't go wrong with a little bit of cheesy pop now and again. In my humble opinion. And then again, I found this as listening to this. This is Bee Gees live. This was recorded at the LA Forum, I think, 1976. And the plan was they were going to record this and then film it, and subsequently release it as the film. What happened was that the brothers weren't satisfied with the film quality, so they just put this out as a double live album. And you see from here, that Robin is supporting the beard, which I didn't realise he'd done. But you've got it. He started off the concert with some of that. I've got to get a message to you. Love so right. Edge of the universe. Come on over. Can't keep a good man down. And then you've got the medley, which features all their early stuff. New York mining disaster, 1941. Run to Me, World, Holiday, I Can't See Nobody, Started a Joke, Massachusetts, How Can You Mend a Broken Heart, To Love Somebody. So side two's your nod to their 60s, their late 60s stuff. And then side 3, You Should Be Dancing, Boogie Child, Down the Road, Words. And side 4, Window Change, Nights on Broadway, Jive Talking, and Lonely Days. It actually is a really good live album. And I think it didn't sell that well in the UK. I don't think it charted well in the States. Obviously, they were just in the middle of their run, and they really got really popular. God, how many number 1 singles they had in a row? It was something like 6 or 7. I'm not sure. Huge in the States. Finally, obviously on Thursday we heard the sad news about passing of Aretha Franklin. So I dug this out and I played Aretha Arrives. This is an album that came out in 1967, I think, 67 or 68. On here, you've got her version of Satisfaction, You're My Sunshine, Let Me Go, 96 Tears, Prove It, Nightlife, That's Life, The Sinatra Standard, I Wonder, Ain't Nobody Gonna Turn Me Around, Gonna Slow You Down, Baby I Love You. This just album, I think, sums up Aretha Franklin. Blues, pop, soul, what a voice. She's gone, but she'll never be forgotten. So there you go, VC. That is my video. So if you're new to the channel and you like what you see, thumbs up, thumbs down, subscribe to the channel. Sorry, thumbs up, thumbs down. Love the interaction. If you like to leave a comment, I'll always get back to you. So VC, enjoy your Sunday, enjoy the rest of the weekend, and hopefully I'll do a video during the week. So until next time, keep spinning, keep smart. Look after yourselves, keep spinning, and more importantly, keep smiling. Take care.